For me, faith is number one. All of the fighting on all of the other stuff, it's only comes after the faith. Faith is number one. My morning starts only just because of the faith, All of our actions gonna be judged based on our intention, And my intention when I wake up is solely for God's purpose. In the morning, I wake up, I cycle towards the masjid, towards the mosque, do my morning prayers, read the holy book, and only after that I go back home, breakfast, training, morning routines and everything. So first things first, God always is first for me.
On today's show, I am sitting down with one of Karate Combat's most dominant fighters, Edgars, the Bear Slayer, Skrivers. From his underground karate roots, growing up in Latvia, to becoming a world-class striker, Edgars shares his journey, the mindset of a champion, and why he believes he never lost the title in the first place. With his next fight on the horizon this Friday at KC52 in Miami, Florida, streaming live on YouTube, he's ready to prove that he's still the best, and you don't want to miss this one. This is a great conversation with an exciting fighter. And if you are enjoying this, please follow Edgars on all channels at Screavers MMA. And if you could as well, always appreciate everyone's support. If you're enjoying my content, give it a subscribe, like, follow us on all platforms. It means a lot to have people sharing this and giving us follows. I appreciate everyone's support. Now, Edgars, the Bear Slayer, Screavers, let's get it. Welcome back to Fight Capital, where we enter the ring of combat sports business. I'm your host, Ryan Rappaport. Today, I am honored to be joined by Edgars, the Bear Slayer, Skrivers. Edgars is a seasoned professional athlete known for his dynamic striking and formidable presence in the pit. As one of the first Karate Combat champions, beyond his fighting career, he is the founder of Skrivers Karate and has been instrumental in promoting martial arts in Dubai and the UAE. Looking ahead, Edgars is set to challenge Shazib Ryan in the Karate Combat Lightweight Championship at Karate Combat 52 this Friday, January 24th in Miami, Florida. Edgars, thank you for joining me this morning. How are you and where are you joining from?
Thank you. Thanks for having me and glad to be here. And yeah, I'm already in Miami, just getting used to the time zone and just getting ready.
Well, that's a long flight, so I'm glad that you got the time to get accustomed to it. But man, you've had such an amazing career in combat sports, whether it's MMA or the long time you've been with Karate Combat. But as I have come to understand, you started training Shotokan karate at the age of 6. What initially drew you to Shotokan, and can you talk a little bit about who were some of your early influences in combat sports?
Well, long before that, when I joined karate school with my first coach, who's still in my corner till this day, and he's gonna be here as well. Long before that, I was already fighting outside in the backyard, and just my grandmother decided to take me to the karate demonstration, or how you call it, where you see how the training is done, what do they do, and everything. And after that, she signed me up and just put me to karate school.
I mean, karate itself, you don't, in this new age of combat sports, you don't see a lot of people in traditional martial arts really progressing their career. But as someone who's done that, can you just talk a little bit about the influence of having a traditional karate martial arts background and what that's meant for you in your fights today?
Well, yeah, about karate, before that, when we were in the Soviet Union, it was forbidden. When I was born in 91, the Soviet Union fell apart and everything. So it was already like allowed to practice karate. But before that, it was forbidden. And my coach, all of them were practicing karate in, somewhere hiding from hiding from the government. And at that time, yeah, it was Shotokan karate and everything. But we were practicing everything. It was not like strictly Shotokan. They were like watching movies, watching old fights, just getting at that time, how you call it here in the US, VHS, the cassettes and everything, just gaining knowledge as you can. So Basically, we were doing also in our training grappling, wrestling, full contact striking, you name it, we did it all.
Hey. Yeah, it's almost like a hybrid already. Well, I love your nickname, the Bear Slayer. Can you just tell me a little bit of the story behind that, and how does that reflect your personality or your fighting style?
Well, yeah, the Bear Slayer is our Latvian national hero. It represents when our nation, our Latvian resistance fighters were fighting for our independence, the Germans, the Soviets, and many other things. So it represents our freedom, that we have our own land, our own language, our own culture, and it represents never surrendering. Basically, you know, each and every kid in Latvia were called almost bear slayer because they were ingraining this thing of never surrendering and like fighting till the end.
I know your faith plays such a strong role in your life, and you're in Dubai now. Can you just talk a little bit about what that role plays in your training in life outside of competition?
For me, faith is number one. All of the fighting on all of the other stuff, it's only comes after the faith. Faith is number one. My morning starts only just because of the faith. All of our actions gonna be judged based on our intention. And my intention when I wake up is solely for the God's purpose. In the morning, I wake up, I cycle towards the masjid, towards the mosque, do my morning prayers, read the holy book, and only after that I go back home, breakfast, training, morning routines and everything. So first things first, God always is first for me.
As someone who's recently discovered their own faith myself, I can't tell you how much power I get from that. So I always love to hear athletes like yourselves who have integrated that not just into their training, but also into their life. And I think that's such an important thing, having that alignment from your physical and your spiritual. So I think that's amazing to hear. But you're also a master of physiotherapy, and as a strength and conditioning coach, can you just talk a little bit how you take that knowledge that you've built in years of studying and integrate that into your training, and how has that contributed to your performance in the pit over these years?
Well, yeah, I'm not really like practicing the physiotherapy so much because I'm focused now on my fighting and fighting career. But still, here and there I do some things, and most importantly, I understand how to train, how to not overtrain, how to like keep your body intact, and it's all about prehab, doing the right things so that you lessen the risks of injury. That's the most important thing. And obviously, some of my teammates or some training partners, sparring partners, if they have some kind of injuries here and there, I can help them out and give them some suggestions. So it's I'm truly blessed that I can have this kind of knowledge, and that I did some physiotherapy in my when I started my fighting career.
Can you just walk us through what a typical training camp looks like leading up to a major fight like this? And how do you balance that technical skill, the physical condition, and the mental preparation as you get ready to step into the pit?
Basically, I have the training camp almost all year around. Yeah, when you get a fight, you tune up the intensity, because there's a date, there's opponent, you're getting specifically ready for that date, also for that opponent, but you never know. Things may change, so you focus on yourself. Opponents can change, as we saw the previous night as well, on one day's notice, opponents can change as well. So, you know, it's just grind, and you just wake up, train, eat, sleep, repeat, and that's it.
You can see that parlay into when you step into the pit as well. I heard one Boss Root one time describe your style in the clinch as suffocating, and you're always kind of denying opponents space and really delivering like a lot of short moves. Can you just elaborate on the importance of the clinch work in your overall strategy for your competition?
Everything is important, and I can fight anywhere, inside the pocket, outside the pocket, into the clinch. And clinch is very important in karate as well. As I said, when we started to do karate, we did clinch sport, we did grappling, we did some wrestling and everything. And it's very important as well. As you can see, the karate guys like Steven Thompson and other guys fighting in the UFC is very important. If you're not gonna have the clinch sport, it's gonna be hard, People gonna take you down and smash you.
Well, a lot of people might not know this, but before you were in karate combat, and you're competing against MMA. You've competed against some of the best in the world, people like Song Yadong, Magomed Magomedov. Just these kind of overall pretty amazing athletes. But you've been in karate combat since the beginning. What are your thoughts on how the league has continued to evolve? Hey, everyone, just want to take a quick pause here to thank you so much for all the support. I've been seeing really awesome growth lately. And as I continue to meet new people and find new avenues to tell stories for this combat sports business world, I really would appreciate if you could give me your feedback on the posts, as well as comment them. Please give me a subscription and follow me across all platforms. Links below. And really looking forward to putting out amazing content here in 2025. Now, if you wouldn't mind just doing me that favor, really appreciate it. Now back to the content.
Yeah, it's crazy how it evolves all the time. As you said, I've been here since the beginning, since 2018. Many things have changed, and so I think it's only changing for the better, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. And I'm just so blessed that I can be here from the beginning, and in some kind of sense also help them out growing the brand.
Yeah, well, how do you envision the evolution of karate combat as a sport, and what role are you hoping to play in its growth moving forward?
It's completely different sport, It's not competing with a UFC. It's not competing with bare knuckle fighting and grappling with everything. So it's a completely different thing. People like it, and even now we have some grappling competitions there as well. So a lot of people are tuning in from the grappling schools, from striking schools, from MMA schools, and it's just growing and growing.
No, I'm a big believer in that as well. If you just see even in the UFC, the reliance on strikers, I think there's a huge trend. Obviously, wrestling is such an important part of MMA, but the striking aspect and the electrifying nature of a knockout and a crazy technique and speed and all of those, I think is really a big differentiator for karate combat, and one of the reasons I love it so much. But, as someone who's a former champion in the sport, what does this title shot mean for you as someone who's been in this limelight so many times before?
To be honest, I don't feel myself as a former champion. I think I'm still the champion. We had our last fight with Rocha in 2023. And I believe, and many people believe, that I won that fight, as you can go back by yourself and just switch off the sound and everything and just count the kicks, count the punches, count the takedowns. So basically, if you're true to yourself, you're gonna count it that I landed more punches, more kicks, more takedowns, and I believe I won that fight. So no wonder that the Shazab's team wanted to fight me, because they know that I'm the real champion, and it's just two of the best guys at the moment at the lightweight division. They're gonna meet. We don't fear nobody, We don't fear nobody. We fear only God, and we're gonna go out there and perform. And I think it's gonna be really, really exciting fight.
Well, Alhamdulillah. Just before we get going here, and thank you so much for taking the time early this morning here. Are there any supporters or sponsors that you would like to thank or mention?
Yeah, of course. I just wanna say that since day one, I have my sponsors. It's Gangsta Paradise from UAE and Lucky 13. If you need any cars or specific car customization, tuning and everything, we can do everything for you, Your dreams can become reality. And also here, Altsense as well is a real estate and investment company. You wanna invest, that's the right place in UAE, in Dubai. and in many other Emirates to invest. And just, anyways, if you want to have a safe place where to live, we're going to find a safe place, because UAE, I think, is the safest place where to live right now.
My best friend is in Dubai right now, and they just are always telling me how much they love it. And I know even just in the last couple of years, property values have been shooting up there. So it definitely seems to be good people having on your side there. I'll make sure to tag them all in the post. But how can people, if they want to connect with you, follow your career, contribute to your growth, how can people do that?
Well, they can follow me on all of the social media. It's Skrivers MMA, and just Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere.
Edgars, well, thank you so much. So excited to see you back in the pit this Friday, January 24th, and can't wait. Hoping you a safe cut and the end of training camp here, and can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you so much, and see you soon in Miami.
Thank you.